And what exactly should we be looking at here? The proof that they exchanged items featuring their favourite characters is right here. Bum 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 bum. Look at Mrs. Inme's left wrist. Enhance. You can see the steel samurai tradework top knot right there. Oh damn, he's doing the jig again. Which clearly makes this a steel samurai watch. That's my favourite animation. Well, I never knew your wife had such hobbies, have it in me. This family photo was taken right before Acolyte Zealot was murdered. By that point, my client had the Punisher strap, and Mrs. Inme had the samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of the watch Mrs. Inme was wearing. Now what? I wish to amend my testimony. What I thought were taiko drones was something else. My wife never had such a watch. It's the truth, I tell you. You must believe me, Your Majesty. Jesus. He's getting desperate. Soroka! Be not deceived by the defense's loyally... what? Chicanery? Whatever the fuck that means. Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve? There is a big gaping hole in his flimsy claim. A big gaping hole? I don't think so. Oh no, I'm afraid it is there, alright. Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain. Oh my god. My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie after all. Heh, says the dead lawyer walking. He who is narrow of vision focuses on what is before him, never seeing the big picture. Or as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest for the trees. For it is as you said. And Lady Inme, the rebel, slew Acolyte Zealot, the rebel hunting Lady Kira. Then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the High Priest was slain. Ah, that means... the High Priest could not have been slain by the rebel hunting Lady Kira. How could I have missed that? So tell me, who are you going to say killed the High Priest now? No! Fuck. Do you finally understand? The sheer size of the holes that riddle your putrid brain. I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the High Priest's murder. Is he gonna throw them? You mindless zombie, you should have begun your journey into the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go, and move on. You really do like that phrase. Sheesh. No, I will never give up. I just need to think things through and figure it out. And figure out who really killed the High Priest. Oh, yes! My favourite time. Mostly because I just love the music. Okay, if Acolyte Zealot had been Lady Kira, he couldn't have killed the High Priest. So the question is, who did? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the events of the case in order. What evidence could tell me... Wait, what? What evidence could tell me something about the crime scene before the murder? Maya's testimony. The spring was stained red before the rite. Oh right, Maya said that the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. The spring was already red before the High Priest's murder because of Zealot's blood. The spring was stained red by Zealot's blood. That's right, Zealot had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the rite. And his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second, the High Priest knew that Zealot had been killed in the hideout. So why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had her arrested on the spot. Why didn't the High Priest inform the authorities right then? To keep the hideout hidden. He wanted to keep the hideout secret. Ooh, we're gaining momentum. If he reported Zealot's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout. That's what he was worried about. But by going through with the rite, the High Priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. Why did he wait, why did he have to go through with the right? Did he want to? Or did he want to kill Maya or set up the scene during it? Set up the scene. Use the right to cover things up. He wanted to set up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. So how was he planning on concealing the source of the blood in the spring? Oh no, he used his own blood? Oh god. Did he seriously kill himself? Stain the spring with his own blood? He concealed the source of the blood with his own. That's how he kept the rebel hideout a secret. It's all starting to fall into place. I know who killed the High Priest. It was... Trust himself. Yeah, he killed himself. All to keep the spring a secret. Trust's death was a suicide. What? I can't believe it. The High Priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. God, that face. The High Priest wasn't murdered by anyone. He took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. What? What? What's this? Man. The High Priest committed suicide. I've never heard anything more absurd. The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. Its putrid gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic. What hole? You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the High Priest took his own life. But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza of Devotion? Ah. After the High Priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Zealot's dead body. Only the accused Maya Fey could have done that. It's as Prosecutor Seth Mardy says. Your claim is rather porous in its logic, and your evidence is too weak. You cannot prove that the High Priest took his own life to conceal the rebel hideout. They're right, the dagger was impaled in Zealot's body, but his body had been placed at the plaza the previous day. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Zealot's body was already in the plaza the day before the riot. But what if the dagger was also already in him at that time? The dagger was never at the Inner Sanctum. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Rust died by a different weapon. Of course, that's it. What is it? There was no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Zealot's body the day before the riot. What? So that means... What does that mean? It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's life. But no weapon was ever found at the Inner Sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe the real murder weapon to be. The real weapon? I got nothing, but I know there had to be a weapon there, or had to have been a weapon there. Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot the clue I need. Well, will the defense care to tell us what the real murder weapon is? This is what really killed the High Priest. That's 2 deaths with the Warbad statue. What really killed him has been at the Inner Sanctum all this time, and its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zealot. That's right. It was the Warbad statue. Oh, there we go. Oh. You should really not mess around with those beads. You believe that that statue claimed both victims' lives? Would you care to chime in, Abbott in me? No, he lies. Pay him no heed. Why, is this gonna be believe in me? Fucking finally. Lady in me. Darling, Don't you think this has gone on long enough? Believe, no. Your Majesty, my wife knows nothing. Please have it in me. Let your wife speak. Now, Lady in me, please continue if you would. It's that time again. And what time would that be? 2:30 in the afternoon, the time my husband conducts his daily prayer. Or prayers. And the time Pere was slain. And there's her watch. Oh, that's what it meant by don don don. That sound, it's the Steel Samurai alarm. I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband. So I set an alarm to remind me each day, but I had no idea it would come to this. So she, I'm guessing, is a rebel? Not rebel, the rebel hunter? No, stop. She knows not what she speaks. Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Zealot. Oh no. Oh dear. Ah. Have it in me? Bailiff, summon a physician at once. The physician is now attending to the High Priest, so there is no need to fear. Now let us continue. And what about half of him called... the half of him called Maya that's still among the living? Mrs. Inme, will you tell us everything you know? The truth is, I am a rebel just like my husband. This tragedy unfolded before the rite during the Feast of Blessings. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare for Dax's escape. And that's when Acolyte Zealot suddenly appeared? Yes. Prey was shocked when he saw me there. Acolyte Zealot did not know you were a rebel? I do not believe he did. I believe he was there simply to investigate the hideout. And then he suddenly came face to face with Mrs. Inme. So the true identity of the rebel hunting lady, Lady Kira, was Pere Zealot? Or Prey Zealot? Yes. He was a member of the secret police, serving directly under the Minister of Justice. The secret police. And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. He was using his position within the secret police to deal as rebels a heavy blow. But murder sanctioned by the by the Crown is still murder. Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered. What's that supposed to mean? Let's just say, I got a little trick up my sleeve. So I'd watch it if I were you. Cause you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. The trick up Minister Inga's sleeve was Lady Kira. No, this can't be. My father would never. This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafer. This explains why Acolyte Zealot abandoned his real name. Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo that all Carina's clergy members receive. Lady Kira was a member of the secret police? That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks. I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time. But... this cannot be. Oh dear. Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder? Oh dear. Peace. Now, Lady Inme, please continue. Pere suddenly lunged at me. That's when I pushed the stone slab towards him with all my might. Oof. but I never meant for what happened next to occur. Allow me to take it from here. Abbott in me. Are you sure you're alright now? I'm sorry you had to see that. But you need not worry about me, I am already dead. Please, we need to know what was so important that you would take your own life. After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zealot, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem as if he died more recently than he did. Then I later moved it to the Plaza of Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at that time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose. Knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. Jeez. It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all. So you admit you tried to pin this crime on Maya Fey? Yes, this was all my doing. I never told my wife of my plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me. How did you get Miss Fey's fingerprints on the dagger? I had her hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before. And right before the rite I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the Warbard statue. That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started. Finally I ended my own life, to ensure that the crime would appear to have been by Acolyte Fey's own hand. Wow. But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue? After I impaled myself on one of the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last ounce of my strength to hold my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed onto the robes, taking them with me as I fell back to the ground. How terrible! What possessed you to do such a thing? You needn't have committed suicide simply to frame the accused. Prosecutor said Marty, as one well versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you of all people to understand. Understand what? This kingdom's legal system, Mrs. Inme's crime, your suicide. It can't be. That would be sadder than sad. Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks. Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest took his own life. Wait. Oh. Okay. Shoot. The Defense Culpability Act. So it doesn't just apply to attorneys. Circumstantial evidence supports Mrs. Inme's killing of Acolyte Zealot in self-defense. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey. I failed to see what that has to do with his suicide. In Khura'in, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments. The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbard statue. I made it seem that Acolyte Fey was the rebel hunting Lady Kira. But are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence? Forgive me, your benevolence, but it was the only way to help my lovely wife. If you had approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense. Perhaps. But I had little faith in lawyers despite being a rebel. How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been other ways to cover up the crime. Yeah, had I done so, my wife would rush to my defense. And when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act. I could not have lived with myself had she been convicted because of that fiendish man. This cannot be. All I have done under the laws of our kingdom, it has all been... Poor Rafa, she's really taken this hard. But I can't say I'm surprised. Oh boy. Mr. Phoenix Wright, it is time to show the might of your legal prowess. Or prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law. Of course. I'll do whatever I can. What I have done to you and Acolyte Faye is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty? Yes? I ask that you please look after my wife. You have my word. Your Benevolence? It is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. The Magatama of parting, if you please. Oh yeah. Very well. Wait, what? Your Benevolence? Please allow me the honour. Yes. It would be more fitting for you to send him on his way. Mrs. Inmee? Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything. Oh god. I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love. Oh wow. He looks so stupid. But now you can watch over me from the world beyond. Yes, always and forever. And with every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you. Oh wow. Wow, they really went all out with the cutscenes for this game. I thought the hair was going shorter then. There he goes. Aww. Farewell, my darling to rust. Well, shit. And there she is. Hey! She's back. The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm. Oh yeah. I feel great. I guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. Oh. But what about the trial, Nick? It's over. It was a sad reality born of love and a great tragedy born of the Defense Culpability Act. Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Does the prosecution have anything to say? Mr. Phoenix Wright? I owe a debt to you, one that I will pay back in court someday. Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial. With respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused Maya Fey and her defense, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Oh my god, this took nearly 4.5 hours. Jesus. Which means the trial in itself was like 3 hours long. Sheesh. Nearly 3 hours long. Woohoo! Oh god, am I glad to be done with this trial. Case. Whatever. I'm also really tired, but I'm also super hungry, so I'll be finishing this off, ensuring that everything went fine, buffering-wise, and then making food, and then going to sleep. 4:20 PM. Oh boy, we did it. We fucking did it! So I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked against the defense. It's totally unfair. Yeah, it even forced the High Priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife. It's just so sad. To protect the status quo, or join the revolution. If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would take. Your benevolence. Huh? What? I was, just wondering. Are you alright? Quiet you. How could I possibly be alright? Yeah, she's not doing well at all. Who do you think you are, suddenly appearing before me, trampling my insights underfoot and plunging the Hall of Justice into utter chaos? You even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel. Oof, that was a bit more extreme than usual. What am I to do? I had always believed that communing with a victim's mitama would lead me to the absolute truth. But each time you overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges, rather than the truth. I am left now with that heavy truth in my heart. I'm sorry, Rafa. Perhaps I am not worthy of hearing the voices of the mitama. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. What? Oh. Maya. How dare you? Your role is to bring forth the voices of the mitama into our world. If you don't do it, who will? You know nothing, Maya Fey. It was spirit channeling, not a divination seance, that brought the truth to light. How dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's secret art? Well, what can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. Is it not a cruel joke, the royal priestess bested by a lowly outsider? Don't be so hard on yourself. Why not? Is it worth at least a laugh or two? You shouldn't talk like that. Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of Royal Priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of Royal Priestess. The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, then what are they supposed to believe in? You know not of what you speak. Actually, I kinda do. After all, I'm only here training so I can become the master of my village back home. A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology. For even today I called you a neophyte practitioner. It's alright, your benevolence. Thank you for finally acknowledging me. A future queen and a future village master. I guess it shouldn't be surprising. I'll be a surprise, considering they may have had a common ancestor. Maya's right, your benevolence. Barbed head? Your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in the last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You've played an important role in assuring that justice was served. And besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the Defense Culpability Act, which gave rise to that, is the root of it all. But that is the dangerous thinking of a rebel. Your benevolence? As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I am even up to the task. Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more than capable. I've never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. Boom. Uh-oh. What was that? It came from the hallway. Smoke. We better go check it out. Hurry. Mrs. Inme. Mr. Wright, Acolyte Faye. I'm so sorry for what transpired. You were almost sentenced to death because of me. Oh. Oh shit. I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through, so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the depth of my love for my dearly departed husband. Oh dear. Bombing a courtroom is a no-no though. Lady Inme, we gotta hurry. That voice, is that Mr. Arabelle? We must tell the people they must learn that the peace we enjoy is a false one. One built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under that odious DC Act. We have it in our power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. Oh shit. Hey there, Peter, were you? I wish we had more time to talk, but... Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time. Dirk? Oh shit. Oh my god, he's here. Wait. Was that the rebel leader Dirk? Jesus Christ. After him. Don't let him get away. Wow. The power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. It's the start of a legal revolution. Hey Nick. Hate to bother you while you're lost in thought, but I just got this great idea. What is it? The Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it'd make for another awesome TV show. And if we threw the Plumed Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it. Really? I'll never get what she sees in those shows. But it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. Ah, there we go. I was gonna say, when's it gonna end? It's been 4.5 hours. Near enough. Holy shit. There it is. We did it. Oh my. That was ridiculous. Saving data. Oh shit. And now it's gonna move on. Damn it. Oh, well, whatever. Episode 4, Turnabout Storyteller. I think we play as Athena in this one. Oh. Where are we?
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
Hmm? Oh god. He died in a bowl of noodles! What the hell? I'm not reading it, mostly because I'm going over this when I next record. Which I can guarantee won't be for a while. Probably because this will be so far down on my list. It's already at the bottom, well, nearly at the bottom. And this will push it 16 days. So, yeah. Probably gonna be a while before I next get to this. But I don't mind. It's the start of a new case, that's all that matters. Because if there's a lot of time between recordings with Phoenix Wright, it's really easy to forget what's happened. If it's a new case, it doesn't really matter, so it's all good. Either way, that is finally gonna be the end of the session. We finished case 3. We only have 2 more and then a DLC one, and then the Spirit of Justice is done. One thing I do know is that the last case for this game is massive. It's absolutely huge. But regardless, we'll get into that when we get into that. Because that is going to be the end of the session. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.